Arena of Valor is a mobile-based 5v5 multiplayer online battle arena, or MOBA, which would have been a lot easier to say, that essentially is the mobile version of League of Legends, just with much better graphics. Wild Rift, League of Legends' alternative to Arena of Valor, offers a much more fast-paced and loose approach than the PC version, whereas Arena of Valor is sort of the perfect in-between for League desktop and mobile. That's no surprise, really, when you realise A of V was made by Teamy Studio Group, which just happens to be a sister company to Riot Games. You know, the people that currently pretty much own the online multiplayer games market. Mobile gaming isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Despite the Mountain Dew chugging hardcore true gamers' best efforts to fight against it, figures show that mobile gaming is massive and probably the biggest it's ever been. Add to this that multiplayer online battle arena type games such as League are absolutely booming right now, and a mobile League of Legends game would surely be putting dollar signs in developers and publishers' eyes. Big gaming companies have committed to mobile gaming for a while now. I mean, look at Konami for example. Just don't ask them how it's going for them. Metal Gear Solid release date, please. As a pro League of Legends player myself, and by pro, I mean I play on a stacked team that lets me select mid, but run around jungling like a headless chicken. The thought of a League of Legends mobile game always intrigued me, and it exists. Wild Rift is the answer to this, and don't get me wrong, it's a solid game, but something felt like it was missing. League and Arena of Valor are as close to carbon copies of each other as you can get, with a wide selection of heroes, 5v5 10-minute games, pretty much exactly the same controls across both games, and basically the same in-game level up system for the heroes. Very close similarities, but when you dig deeper, there's actually some pretty significant differences that completely alter your MOBA gaming experience. Time to get into the nitty-gritty. The argument between mobile League players and AoV players always seems to be based on which one is harder to play and therefore who is the elite true pro gamer. Again, picture the Mountain Dew guzzling in between typing this script out. It's true that Mobile Legends probably has a steeper learning curve, but also something that should be taken into consideration is the difficulty of the AI in Arena of Valor. They are no joke. It's very rare that unless you're playing like a complete bot, the League of Legends minions will ever cause you damage enough where you need to teleport away. But in AoV, you can get caught off guard pretty quickly. Being that towers are a key component of the game and that they are significantly stronger in AoV, this is something that needs to be taken into consideration when comparing the two. Now, between the two, I will admit that Mobile Legends does have better lore and character development than AoV. Not by much, but it does. But let's remember something important here. AoV allows you to unlock heroes and skins for free. As with any successful free-to-play game that promotes its free-to-play, but actually adding up all the hidden microtransactions, you end up buying the equivalent of 17 physical copies of the game anyway, and I can feel myself going on a mini rant, so I need to cut it short here. Whew. You basically get what you pay for. There's going to be more options and deeper development because all of the microtransactions being fed into Mobile Legends, so I agree in this aspect that Mobile League takes the dub. But with all that extra money, it's obvious that Riot skimped on one thing that AoV excels in, and that's the graphics. Mobile League tends to feel like a watered down version of the desktop game, with softer, toned down visuals, whereas AoV truly blossoms into this gloriously beautiful mobile game with silky, crispy, and other key buzzwords that truly take your breath away. But, and this is a big but, the AoV map simply is not as good as the Mobile League map. The AoV map is smaller and not as creative as the Mobile League map, and because of the size of the map, it makes it easier to come face to face with minions in AoV, which can be good and bad, as they are harder to fight, but also means you're less likely to get caught away from safety. Listen, if you honestly chose either game, you wouldn't be disappointed, but Arena of Valor for me just ticks so many boxes. It's super accessible, meaning anyone can pick up and play, with the option to switch on the auto buying feature. Visually, it's stunning, and more importantly, you don't have to sink an insane amount of money into the game just to get rid of the default skins. Oh, and did I add it has an absolutely booming competitive scene currently. Yes, it has a ways to go to compete with the powerhouse that is the League competitive scene, but I actually think it's a great thing to have two competitive games providing healthy competition against each other. Just in case you weren't convinced, there's also a crazy DC crossover that allows you to play as Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman, just to name a few. As someone who plays League desktop, I can objectively look at the two mobile games and say, give Arena of Valor a chance. It truly is one of the best games you've never heard of.